Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I'm about to get started on my daughter Caylan's third grade year. Now, every time I post something about my daughter's school albums, I get a ton of questions about them. So I'm going to try to answer some of the most common ones that I get now and then see if anything else pops up. But basically, my daughter's school albums are Project Lifestyle. So I have this We Are Memory Keepers faux leather album in purple. That's her favorite color. And I do this using Becky Higgins page protectors. I use two different styles. I use the regular, probably the most popular design A, which has two 4x6s at the top, four 3x4s across, and then two 4x6s on the bottom. This is her intro page here. Now, moving forward in the album, I do one design page A basically, and then I go into doing design D. And design D is basically design A but flipped on its side. So as you can tell here, it's two 4x6s here, two 4x6s here, and then horizontal 3x4s down the middle. So that's how I do it, and I alternate them. So I have design A here, design D, and then the next page will be design, the backside of design D, and then design A again here. So this is her kindergarten year, but basically that's how I do it. I have that throughout the entire album. So each grade has design A, design D, flip, design D, design A, and that's going to be for each grade. So I kind of keep it, that's how I have her album organized right now. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how I kind of keep everything organized for the school year. So what I do is during the school year, I have an empty iris container, which is what I normally use for my kits and stuff, just a big empty one. And I keep their school papers in there. So every time they bring something home from school, I will throw it into that iris container. And when that iris container gets full, which happens 2 or 3 times a year, I make some time, I sit down and I go through it. And I keep papers and projects and anything that I think I want to keep in this album in there. And then anything that I want to toss, I toss. And then I also keep kind of bigger projects and papers and things that are not necessarily going to fit in this album, but I still want to keep them. And I keep those in a art box that I have for them, which is just something separate that I have that has file folders with each grade on it, and I keep it in there. So it's just kind of some bigger things. These are examples of what is going to go into Caylan's art box for right now. There's a couple of cards, thank you cards from her teacher, from the gifts that she gave her. There's this notebook here that is fantastic. This is a reading log, and in the back here there's a section for letters, and it was Caylan and her teacher writing letters back and forth to each other about books they're reading. Her teacher will ask her questions about what she's reading and who's your favorite character and what's your favorite part so far and why and all this stuff. And then her teacher also wrote about stuff that she likes to read. So she talked about, her favorite book growing up was James and the Giant Peach, and that's what got her into reading, and here's what I read now, and just all this stuff. And then Caylan would write a response back. So they're writing letters back and forth about reading, and you guys know I love this because you know how I feel about reading. So I'm definitely keeping this because I think that was just so awesome that her teacher did that. And just some stuff that she drew, just, papers that she had filled out. She colored this for me for Mother's Day, which is fantastic. This was like a little invention like a little thing that they were inventing things, and a picture that went up on the school hallway when she got Character of the Month for her class, and just kind of things like that I just really wanted to make sure that we hang on to because they're very special, and they're just not necessarily going to fit in here. So these types of things are going to go in her art box versus going in her actual school album. So I'm just going to put those off to the side here. And so for her album here, what I have done is I have already gone through and organized all of her stuff. So I know exactly where everything is going to go in her album here. So I have this opened up to her third grade year, and I just take Post-its and I write down what it is I want to put in each slot here. So I know where everything is going to go. I do have a couple pictures in here that have other kids from her class on there. So I kind of just stuck the picture in there, put a Post-it over their faces. I'm trying to be mindful of not showing anyone else's kids on here without permission. So this one, they went and read to a kindergarten class, and that is my best friend's son, and she said it was fine. So all that, but yeah, so everything is already planned out for me. I already know exactly where everything is going to go. This does take some time. This is the hardest part, is, picking what I'm going to use and making sure I have room for it and everything. So basically, I have like all my pictures printed here, and I will be using a bunch of stuff from her school year that I saved. So let me show you some examples here, because I get a lot of questions about how do you, decide what you're going to cut down and cut into and all that. So basically, I'm going to get all this random things out of the way here. Just things that I know I want to use. And then things like this that she brings home, just from class. This was on her desk, so I'll punch holes in this and I'll stick it in here like that. So that's really fantastic. Okay, so a good example of something I'm going to cut up is this right here. This is a spelling test that she had, and this was really when she started getting harder words for spelling. Like, things started getting a whole lot harder. I mean, look at these words she was spelling. I had a hard time saying that word. I couldn't even say it. So I was pretty proud of her, and she got 100%. She rocked it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this one in this Design D page that has the vertical 4x6s, and I am going to cut it up. I'm going to make sure that I have the 100% on there, and then just, a good number of the words there, so that you can kind of see how they started getting harder and harder. So this is going to be a 4x6 cutout basically right here, and I'm just making sure I keep the score in there. And this is what I have to do. I have to hold something up behind the page protector, make sure it's going to fit, and then decide if I'm going to be able to use it or not. So this will definitely fit right there. It's enough that I know what it is. I can see what it is. Anyone looking through here will see that it's a spelling test. And she got 100%. So that's basically how I decide what's going to go where. So there's that. This is another one here that her teacher wrote on her paper, because we were having a little bit of trouble with Caylan in the beginning about not following directions very well. So she would get papers and she would just start doing stuff. She wouldn't take her time to read the directions and do everything correctly. She would kind of take a guess at what she had to do. And because of that, her grades suffered a little bit in the beginning. So here her teacher wrote, Caylan, you rock. Thank you for following the directions, because she did really well on this one because she took her time and followed directions. And that was something we were working on her with. I want to only have this part though. I don't need the entire sheet. So I want to just kind of have this part just to remember that she was having that kind of issue in the beginning. So this will be one that I'm actually going to put it right here behind this picture, but we'll hold it up underneath just to make sure that this is going to fit in that 3x4 horizontal spot, and it does. So I'm going to just do that. So those are a couple things, that I'm going to be including as far as cutting into things. This is another one that I'm going to be using, and this is her reading goals for the year. So she had goals and what her reading level was, which was a 5.0, and that is a 5th grade reading level, and she's just now going into 4th grade. So she's pretty advanced in her reading. So I want to make sure that I keep that and just know that she was on a 5.0 when she was in 3rd grade. That's pretty good. So this is something I can easily cut down. I'm going to put it in another 3x4, kind of like this. So I'm just going to make sure I have that part more than anything, because that's really what I want to remember. So that's kind of where I go with that. And then, I keep some things like this and I can overlap them and, just fun stuff like that. So I don't have any problem cutting into my kids' schoolwork if I really feel like I need to, because they bring so much home, you guys, and I don't keep everything. I do not. My house will be overrun with papers if I did that, especially with Layla's kindergarten stuff. She brought home so much stuff. 3rd grade, not quite as much, but kindergarten, like so much. So I don't feel the need to hang on to every single little thing that my kids bring home. I really have no problem letting a lot of it go. Majority of it goes. But I keep the ones that are really special. I keep the ones that kind of trigger a memory. So that's kind of how I am going to work that. And then, of course, you know, I have just the random stuff that she has brought home that I want to use. And yeah, that's basically how I work the school stuff. And then other supplies that I use consistently throughout this album is I am using a Project Life kit, a core kit. This is the blush edition. And I think I got this on QVC when they had like a special Project Life segment or something, and they were selling some really cheap core kits. And I think I got this one and maybe a couple of like the mini kits. It's when they started doing the mini kits. So I'm using this one mainly in here. So anytime I need a card, I will go in here and try to find one to do journaling or to put something on, or, you know, anything like that. So this stays out on my desk while I'm working in their school albums as well. And I'm using this one for Layla's too. I'm going to use it for both of them. And then I also do have a little iris container here of just some random school scrapbooking supplies that are school themed. I'm trying not to hit my camera. Okay. Oh, look, there's Layla. And so I have like a 6x6 paper pad. That's a grade school stack. You know, I can use this if I need like a 4x6, but I don't see anything else working for me. You know, just some kind of October afternoon random stuff, some stickers in purple because that's her favorite color. And that's kind of what I'm working with. And, you know, just some random stuff that I can definitely use for school that I do reach into here every so often and pull out some stuff and do that. So that is my basic process for this. And again, you know, a lot of it is organizing throughout the school year. A lot of it is, and just making sure I'm keeping on top of everything and throwing out what I don't want and keeping what I do. And then just making sure it's all going to be able to fit in here. And then anything that can't fit, but I still want to keep, goes into the art box. And I hope that answers all the questions. I'm trying to remember all the common questions I get. And those are kind of the common ones. You know, what's your process? How do you keep it organized? How do you plan for it? How do you know what's going to fit where? All that stuff. So that's kind of how I work everything. All right, so I am going to go ahead and get started on Caylan's third grade year. I'm going to do the entire year in one sitting, and I'm going to show you that process. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you guys have any other questions, please leave them down below. I'm pretty sure I probably left something out or left you questioning something. Wouldn't surprise me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I am going to go ahead and begin with this first title card here. And I already have a title that says third grade. And that's something that I did when I first came up with the concept of this project. I took some of those Project Life 4x6 cards, and I took also some simple stories, letter stickers, and I did every single grade up through senior year. So I have cards ready to go for every single grade for Caylan right now. And I grabbed another 4x6 there that I needed to back her first day of school with. So I grabbed that cute black card with the flowers on it. And I have this 3x4 card here that has a bunch of numbers, and I'm using that 3, which is actually from a printable that I printed out years and years and years ago. So I wouldn't even know where to get it now if I wanted to, but I think it was a free printable I found online somewhere. But it has circles and it has all the grades of the school year. So it says third grade around in the circle. And I'm going to take some black soot distress ink and ink the edges of this just to make it stand out a little bit more, since I'm doing blue on blue here, basically. So I just inked it up real quick. I'm going to stick that right in the middle and then use my tiny attacher and staple it down. And I always do a card like that, you know. I had a kindergarten and a first, second, third, so I'll have one card like that for every school year. And then I have, this is the first day of school. So I am using my date stamp, and I'm going to use one that says celebrating, and then the date of the first day of school for last year. And then I'm going to use some of these little letter tiles that I got from Nicole Jones. And these were like little, like a stamp and a die set that she has. So she stamps the letters and then uses a die and cuts them out like that. And then it makes it very easy for you to just cut them out. And they're kind of like the October afternoon, what are those, like tile stickers? I don't remember what they're called. I have a ton of them. But They're basically kind of supposed to mimic that. So I cut out the letters for first day, and I use this dark one here. Then I'm going to use some Amy Tangerine super thin washi glitter tape, and I'm going to use that throughout her spread here. So I'm going to go ahead and put these letters down. So it's going to say first day, and then the date. And then I want to add something else to that, but I'm not quite sure what yet, so I'm going to do a couple other things first. So this is a little back to school thing that we got for like Meet the Teacher Night or something. And I'm just cutting out a part that has her school and mascot and everything on it. And then I'm going to put that onto a 3x4 card. Just fun little things for her to remember. And then I'm going to put down her Valentine that she decided to use this year for her class, and that was Descendants. And then down on the bottom there, I have a picture of Caylan and Josh. That was the first day of school. We went in and walked her through her class and, got to take pictures and stuff, and that was fun. So this is a cut out, like what are those called? They're from Scholastic. But like current events and stuff, they talk about them every couple of weeks or so. And this was the one right after the election. I think it was the day after the election, actually. Or maybe the week. I don't know if it was the day after. But I wanted to document this because, being in school during an election year is a big deal for them because they did talk about, politics kind of, as much as a third grader can understand, but they talked about, candidates and elections and how they work and, people vote and all this stuff and what a privilege it is to be able to vote and everything. So I'm just, writing that since it was an election season, they were talking about it. And I'm going to use some stars here, some little enamel stars, and that is what I'm going to add to this top one here. And then I'm going to add 3 on here as well. And then 1 down there. I probably should have started this video by telling you to grab a drink or a snack because this is going to be a longer video than normal. Because I did everything in one shot. And it actually should be longer because I lost part of my footage. I have no clue. I think I just didn't upload it or I didn't click it when I was uploading everything somehow, and then I deleted it off my camera before I realized what was happening. So the last sheet of it is actually not even recorded, so that's fun. It would have been even longer. Okay, so I'm going to start working on this spread here. So this one, I am going to do Caylan's school photo, her fall yearbook photo, and I have one large one. It's a 5x7. So, obviously bigger than a 4x6. And I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to print out a 4x6 to make it fit perfectly, or I'm just going to cut down the 5x7. And I decided just to cut down the 5x7. It's fine. I have one in a frame already, and I don't really want to use the ink in my printer to print another one when I have a perfectly good one here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I cut that down a little bit. And then I'm going to start working on some of these other ones, and I think those are the only 2 pictures I have that are like going to be fitting exactly in. So her school pictures and then the one on the bottom there that I had already put in, but everything else is either paper or it's a picture that I'm going to cut even smaller and stick onto something else. So that is the paper where her teacher wrote her little note, so I kept that. I'm cutting down her school supplies as well. So this is the school supply list that we got at the beginning of the year, and I like to keep those just to kind of compare them each year and see how they grow, and then, in another 15, 20 years, it'll be funny to look back on those and see what they had to take to school versus what they do now, in schools nowadays and all that. So I thought that'd be fun to keep the supply list. So I just grabbed a 3x4 card there and stuck that on, just a simple gray one. It didn't have to be anything fancy. It covered up most of it anyway. And now I have this letter that I wrote to her during like back to school night, and it was something that was sitting on her desk, and so we went in and the teacher talked to us about everything, and she asked us to write them notes. So that's what we wrote to her, and we got it back on the last day of school. So I have that 4x6 card there. I made sure the green was on the top so it could kind of peek out a little bit since this isn't a full 4x6 note here. So I'm just cutting it down to make it fit. And so that green's going to be peeking up the top there. And then I have a little typewriter, this little puffy typewriter sticker that I've had for a couple years at least. I think that's from Evilicious, I want to say. Very, very, very old, but I didn't want to throw it away because I knew I'd use it somehow. And I thought, hey, it was something we were writing her a letter, so I thought it fit in nicely there. All right, this picture here is of Caylan doing the spelling bee. She wanted to do the spelling bee this year, and so we took a picture of her while she was at the microphone spelling a word, and she lost it 3 rounds. We were pretty proud of her. She was one of the last third graders left. I think I want to say a 5th grader ended up winning because it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So, but she was one of the last 3rd graders standing. We were pretty proud of her there. So I just documented that. And then this here is a little strip that was like a ticket that the kids could turn in her class. And this was like their rewards program basically. So they could collect points for doing good deeds and following directions and stuff. And when you got enough points, you could turn them in for special prizes. And Caylan got to do that quite a bit. So these were the little receipts that she got. Every time she turned in her points, she got a receipt back. And you know, she had to write it all out almost like a check. It was really cute. And her favorite things were either turn them in for candy, or she could turn them in if she got enough points collected. If she saved up her points, she could sit in the teacher's chair for the entire day. So that was pretty cool. That was one of her favorite ones. So I'm just talking about that. I want to add something to that banner up there because it's just a little bit plain, so I'm not sure what. I'm going to grab my little tin here on my desk that has random stuff, and I'm going to see what else I can add to this little card here. And I find these little fabric banners from Amy Tangerine that are very old, and again, I have a ton still. And then I added another one of those pink stars there. Just help jazz it up a little bit. And then I have Caylan's spelling test here that I'm going to cut down, and I talked about that at the beginning of the video. So I'm just cutting down to make sure I can see that it says 100%, and then I will make sure that, you know, a lot of those words are included in there as well. I'm going very slowly because I keep ripping stuff because I'm going too fast, so I just need to remember when I'm using, you know, thinner paper, I need to go a little bit slower. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the other side here, turning it over, and quite a few things to document. I have a lot of pictures on this one, so I'm just putting everything where I know I want it to go. And I am going to start out with this top one here, and this is her spring picture. And I always document those because they're always so cute, and they get to do like poses and stuff, and they're different than the yearbook pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a card here, and I really like this floral, so I thought that would be great to use in that one since it's a spring picture. I am going to cut it down a little bit so that I can see the floral, and I'm going to make it fit into that white box there. So I'm actually going to cut it down so that it fits right into that box, and the box kind of frames it out a little bit. And I'm really not cutting anything important off, it's just some of the background, and it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to use these Teresa Collins tiny stickers in, they're white stickers with teal letters. I'm just going to spell out spring picture. And then I am going to work on Caylan's birthday picture, which is the one right there with her wearing glasses. And I'm going through my American Crafts little die cut bin here, and I'm trying to find, I found something that says happy, and that works for me. So happy, and then a balloon and a star, and then I have that number 9 there that I don't know where that came from. Probably a kit. I want to say a Studio Calico kit maybe. But I saved it especially for this album because I knew I was going to document her birthday. I'm going to use this washi tape again here, and then I'm going to run all of these through my Xyron so that I can go ahead and make them into stickers basically. And I'm just using my bone folder to kind of push in the adhesive on the back to make sure everything is covered evenly. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the happy. And I do have to clean up kind of the edges there because sometimes the adhesive sticks out. So I just have to make sure it's not coming out so it won't stick to the page protectors or anything. Okay, so that is her birthday right there. And since her birthday is in March, it always falls in the school year, so I always make sure I document that. Okay, these glasses. This card came in one of my Noel Mignon kits, and so I saved this because I knew I wanted to document about Caylan getting glasses because she did get glasses in the middle of the school year. So I used a Project Life card that just had, I think it had the word Friday or something on top of it, not something I'm probably going to use. So I am going to use part of it for my journaling on the bottom. So I'm just covering up that second set of glasses there. And I just covered it up with the grid part. And then when I turned it over, I really liked this teal polka dot, and it really brings out those glasses as well since those are teal. So I just cut a couple little strips there, and I'm going to put them on either side, and that helps cover up some of the other glass pattern, the glasses pattern that was sticking out a little bit. So I'm just kind of highlighting that a little bit there. And I like the way that that looks. And cleaning up as I go. And I'm just gonna document that she got glasses and she needs help seeing long distances. She was having a hard time seeing the board in her class, you know, from her desk and everything. So she needs help to see far away a little bit. And she actually really likes her glasses. All right, so that is that one. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and do my AR one down here as well. This is about her reading level, how she's on a 5th grade reading level, and that was something she documented and wrote a little note to the principal about it. And here in a second, I lost my footage for the rest of this, so I think I'm going to do 2 more here, 2 more cards here, and then the rest is just the footage was lost. I have no idea how I missed it, but I think I deleted it before I could upload it, so I apologize for that. But you know, I have a field trip one there in the middle as well, which you'll see in a second, and then I'm doing her good character one right here, which is basically a student of the month, or student of the month basically for her class. This here is the gold medallion that is in her, that she's holding up in the picture. And it's just a little medal that they get when they earn the student of the month. So I took the medallion off of the actual, I don't know, necklace part or whatever, what they wear around their neck. And I'm going to stick it down here. So I just did some journaling about it on this little banner, and then I'm going to use some red line tape to put that medallion down because it's a little bit heavy. So I'm just going to use some red line tape to put that down. And this next little section, the next 30 seconds here, I have it in real time just because I did want to take some time to tell you guys that, you know, I did lose some footage. So the rest of the spread you're not going to see here, but I am going to be back here in just a second to flip through her entire 3rd grade year so you can see exactly what I did, and I'll show you what I did on the last spread. And I'm sorry about that. I have no idea. I guess I just didn't double check before I deleted stuff on my camera. I thought everything was uploaded and it wasn't. So I'm sorry about that, but I'll come back here in just a second. All right, guys, so I am done with Caylan's 3rd grade year, and I'm going to try my hardest to kind of give you a basic overview of what it looks like. It's hard to get my whole album, you know, in the camera shot, and plus I have lights that keep reflecting off the page protectors. But so started here with this first page here. This is basically like, you know, these are both the first day of school, and just her little signature that I have them do every year, so I can kind of see how their handwriting grows over the years, which is fun. And then I included things like her Valentine's that she liked this year, and then we have the election, so I included that because they talked about that in school. And I went ahead and punched holes in her little name tag here from her desk. This is her class picture that they had done in the springtime. Obviously, I put a big Post-it over the class because I don't want to show other people's kids. But it's really cool the way they did it because the class picture is inset in here, and then this is Caylan, and then it has, you know, her stuff down here. So that was really cool. And then I just put that on a piece of 8.5 by 11 gold foil paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was a paper pad, and it's like hot pink and gold, and that ties in with the hot pink on her shirt, so that's kind of cute. So I just stuck that on there. This is her reading award that she got as well. This is a school selfie that they did, I think, towards the beginning of the year, and she was supposed to draw a picture of herself, which she did, and put some of her favorite stuff. Here I included a page from the spelling bee practice that she had to do because she did the spelling bee. So I just included a sample of some of the words that she was supposed to spell. And then over here we have her fall picture, her yearbook picture, and a note that we wrote to her towards the beginning of the school year when we did like parent information night. Her teacher had us write little notes to them. And then doing some work in class. Her teacher was very good about taking pictures in class and making sure the parents got them, so that was really, really cool. This is her doing the spelling bee. She's at the microphone spelling a word, and I did some journaling about that. School supply list, the page about her teacher talking about following directions, which I talked about before. This is part of her rewards that they did in the classroom. And then her spelling test here. And then we will go on to the next page here. This is her spring picture, her turning 9. I always include her birthdays in here because her birthday is in March, so she always has her birthday during the school year. Reading to kindergarten, getting glasses. She got glasses in the middle of the school year. The field trip that they took, her reading, and I kind of coincided these together because now that she's reading at a higher level, we're starting to read books together. For example, we're reading Harry Potter together, and we just started reading The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer together as well. We're still on the first book. But it's been fun because I'm starting to read books with her that I'm interested in as well. I was actually interested in reading these, and especially since I want to be a librarian, I'm going to have to make sure I'm reading, you know, all types of different books. So that's been a lot of fun. This is her getting the Good Character, or basically Student of the Month award for one of her months. And then here I included her end of the year awards that she got. She got Character of the Month Character of the Year for her class, which was really awesome. Only 2 students in each class get that, and she was one of them. We were really proud of her for that one. Perfect attendance. Her teacher gave her a Fun Reading Award, and a math award as well. So, and then on this last page here, these page protectors are horizontal let me think. Hang on. Brain is starting to shut down. Horizontal 8.5 by 11. Page protectors. These are by Becky Higgins, so you can actually get these from Becky Higgins, and they're really great for things like this because they go in sideways, and the holes are perfect, and you can put in, you know, sideways papers like this, so that's fantastic. And then last page here, this is Caylan with her teacher, who she adores. She wrote, they started working on computers and learning how to type and stuff, so she wrote a little short story here, like just a little fantasy thing, and so she wrote that, and I printed it out. This is her best friend who's in her class, and they have really bonded, and we're going to hang out over the summer, and that's just her BFF. And then down here I have literary pumpkins that she painted. We did Harry Potter, so she painted Harry Potter and Hedwig, and my mom was actually in town when this was going on, so my mom helped her a lot with that. It was really cute. And then this is a little essay she wrote about the pumpkins and why she chose Harry Potter. And then just some end of the year journaling, how proud we are of her, last day of school, and then a little best day ever with a little star. So that is Caylan's 3rd grade year. It is in the books, and super, super proud of her. She just completely rocked 3rd grade. We are, of course, everyone's proud of their kids, but seriously, this girl, like, really, really super proud of her. All right, so that is going to be it for me. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will answer them for you. And got 2 more years to go in here. I still have plenty of room, so that's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to work out really great for this album. And yep, that is my daughter's 3rd grade year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions, and let me know how you guys document your kids' school years. If you have a good system that you're using for that, I would love to know what you guys are doing as well. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.